In today's news, things start slowly, but then eventually it all happens all at once. Right now, XRP is worth roughly 50 cents, but it won't stay that way for long, especially now the global leaders and elites of the world are publicly stating that they are standing in Ripple's corner by effectively confirming Ripple XRP will cannibalize Swift. Firstly, we have this video here courtesy of Mr. Man XRP at the Bretton Woods Annual Conference 2024, and we can see the BIS, the IMF, Accenture and the Bank of Peru quoting word for word, bar for bar, what Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has stated in the past about the need for a modernized version of Swift. Listen closely.
RippleNet is trying to take on Swift. What's been the traction like? Who's come on board?
Well, it's interesting as you step back and look at this. If you and I decided we were going to send $10,000 to California today, the fastest way for us to do it would be to drive to the airport and fly it there. That's a crazy thing to think about when you're in the age of the internet and we're used to information on demand.
That's great. And I'd love to maybe dwell a little bit on, for Peru, a small open economy, Latin America, of course, international payments, we said it already, it's more a challenge for emerging markets than it is for advanced economies. But maybe before you start, I think it is also important again to reflect on the fact that if you want to make a payment now to London, it's still faster if you pack money into your suitcase, take the plane, fly to London, go to the beneficiary and handle the suitcase. It's still going to be faster than if you do an electronic payment. So that we also need to keep in mind.
Swift is old, outdated, expensive, and also slow. The world leaders know this, hence why they are talking about the need for a new monetary system, and they know that Ripple with XRP is the chosen one to replace, to cannibalize Swift. We can see here from Edward Farina, XRP is the chosen one in Europe, as Ripple has partnered with Clear Junction, a global leader in cross-border payment solutions for regulated institutions, enabling instant and secure pound sterling to euro payouts with more currencies to follow, so faster and more efficient transactions across the UK and Europe, which is a very, very big deal. But that is not all. Here from Smoke, for example, he showcases newly released May 2024, so last month, ISO technical documentation which shows updated market identifier codes, which includes CRIP, which equals crypto facilities, as in companies that hold and transact crypto to facilitate payments. They are now recognized, categorized under codes used for ISO messaging standards, which is huge news. This new ISO code effectively showcases positive developments for the crypto industry and suggests growing recognition and potential for better infrastructure in the near future, which is something that Ripple have been helping governments and traditional financial industries build all around the world, like how Ripple is currently engaging with the National Bank of Georgia. The discussions focus on exploring potential avenues for collaboration in the digitalization of the Georgian economy. Or the even bigger announcement that seemingly many of you are sleeping on, just how big the Robinhood Bitstamp deal is, which is broken down here from Paul Barron. Listen very closely.
And that is Robinhood understanding that the writing is on the wall. There's a lot of opportunity here. So what do? They go out and spend $200 million to acquire Bitstamp. Now you think, well, why would they go that direction? A couple of points within the article that'll kind of explain this. The exchange has a strong presence in Europe and Asia. Okay. 85 tradable assets, features such as staking and lending, both very key. And then, of course, 50 active licenses and registrations worldwide. That's huge, because what this does is it puts Robinhood at the front of the line in a lot of these regions that will require those licenses. Now they own them. And also it generates an immediate impact potentially on everything from staking and lending within the guidelines of what MiCA has already put into place. Guess where Robinhood is starting to really put pressure on? The UK, the EU, all throughout MiCA's regulation authorities.
You will soon see every legal regulated crypto exchange become acquired by a major traditional platform. Bitstamp, acquired by Robinhood, is just the start. do not be surprised when BlackRock, the largest institution in the world, ends up buying Coinbase, because that is very, very likely going to happen. And speaking of which, we have an interview here with ex-Ripple employee, now head of digital assets for BlackRock, Robert Mitchnick, confirming this massive shift is happening and also how it will happen. Pay close attention.
Before we would move trillions or tens of trillions in assets into this new technology paradigm, that actually first institutions were going to get comfortable with small exposures to crypto itself, understanding wallets and blockchain-based settlement and being comfortable with the risk controls and the infrastructure supporting that. So that's kind of what's happening. You're seeing more institutions get into crypto a little bit, and that I think is helping to pave the way one day for a broad-based transformation in tokenization. So we're starting to see some development that suggests that this is working, that there's client demand, that the utility of being able to hold a TradFi investment exposure in a digital asset wrapper is actually compelling to investors, certainly to some of our clients. But in hindsight, it was kind of always going to be the case.
Now, this is big news because, as you should know, BlackRock never loses, and Wall Street evidently are gearing up for altcoin season. Assets like XRP will make monumental gains in this bull market because that is exactly what the global leaders, what the global elites, that is what Wall Street is looking for.
The more risk you take, the more return you should get paid for having taken that risk. And so in crypto, there is immense risk. But the further you get on the coin market cap list, the more risk you're taking. And therefore, you're going to need to drive a higher and higher return to compensate you for that risk. And that's exactly what Wall Street's looking for. Wall Street loves things that go up 10%. They love things even more that go up 100%. But if you show up and say, there's an asset that may go up 10,000% or it may go to zero, you have a line out the door of Wall Street investors who say, let me understand what this is. Let me try to value it. Let me try to predict the future. And I'm willing to risk a little bit of dollars in order to make a big return.
So as you can see, evidently there are game-changing developments taking place all around the world, which will have significant impacts on the price of XRP down the line, like the fact that the BRICS Alliance BRICS Plus nations recently confirmed the development of new payment rails, which XRP has been spotlighted to be the foundation, or at least connected to this system. I made a video on this yesterday, definitely go check it out if you haven't done so already. And furthermore, President Putin also announced that this year, over 40 more countries have applied to join the BRICS and will likely be joining. So the BRICS are expected to add over 50 new countries to the alliance this year, which is mind-blowing. The growing power of the BRICS alliance is rather shocking, rather worrying, and rather threatening to the United States and the rest of the Western world. Thankfully though, although in my opinion it may be a little too late, but America in this regard, they're starting to make their comeback. As of June 2024, so this month announcement, effective November 2024 before the end of this year, Oklahoma and other states will adopt the UCC legal amendments that provide a perfect and regulatory guide to lenders on cryptocurrencies. Quote, using crypto as collateral, aka regulations for crypto staking coming this year, passive income in the United States with cryptocurrencies. All of this, everything that I've just showed you, it all bridges back to something I remember Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen stating in an interview regarding the finished vision of the Internet of Value that Ripple are trying so hard to create. Listen closely.
Are getting behind systems that make sense, like interoperability, and getting behind digital assets. Because again, the cryptocurrencies, the digital assets, whatever you want to call them, they also play a key role in that. Once you get the plumbing in place, those new types of assets that have no counterparties create incredible efficiencies to reduce capital that has to otherwise be kept by banks all over the world, could be used for IoT, because again, probably once you get that infrastructure in place, most payments will be machine to machine. So that also kind of, again, once you solve the developing world problem, that also solves the IoT problem. So the explosion in the number of transactions is tremendous, and that drives a lot of what the demand for digital assets, which regulators are and banks are getting behind now.
In the words of Chas Steingraber, in the future, there will only be assets. It will still be money, but it will be a new type of money. And all of this will run on a new type of system. SWIFT is not long for the new age, the new monetary system, for the new world of finance. Ripple is going to be the one to take its place, to cannibalize SWIFT. And the global leaders are perfectly aware of this. That's why they're talking about it, why they're quoting Brad Garlinghouse. They have not been quiet about this. They know what's coming. And when this happens, the volume of liquidity that will flow through RippleNet, through the XRP ledger, the amount of adoption that XRP will attain, will send XRP's price to the moon. Don't look short term, think long term. And I'll see you in the next one.